Welcome to day 5 of the grand experiment. So today we're going to be doing a back workout. I'm not going to talk too much. Let's jump straight in. I'm going to start the timer right now. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're just going to do 2 quick warm-up sets because I don't want to be working cold muscles. If you look in the background, you'll see my resistance bands. Those are set up over the door. So I'll just mostly be doing pull downs with a little bit of variety in how long I'm holding them. Like I'll do slow ones, I'll do some isometrics, but just to keep that muscle engaged, we're keeping the same 1-1-1 structure. So 1 minute of work, 1 minute of light cardio, 1 minute of rest, 7 rounds, 2 rounds of warm up. This should be a little bit less than 30 minutes, hopefully, to get you back to your day. So we have 20 seconds left, and I gotta remember to flip the video next time. I know I didn't do it the last time, so I'll remember this time, I promise. So let me go ahead and set up. We're gonna start with just actually I have a new exercise for you. I want to show this to you today. So just keep your eyes on me. If you can't do it, just do squats. We're essentially going to be getting up and sitting back down. That's it. So easy, nothing crazy. Sit, legs extend. If you hear my knees crackling, do not laugh. I got old man knees. Sit back a little bit so you can see me. Legs out, all the way, back, stand up. Nice gentle cardio. Do not start the watch. Okay, I'll start that on the break. Feel my heart rate going up already. All right, break. All right, so you should be in the warm-up zone. I'm at 112. I'm just gonna move a little bit. Nothing crazy. Looking at the time. If you just want to walk around, you could do that too. Not trying to burn yourself out. We're not chasing exhaustion. We're just chasing movement, activity. Did my walk yesterday, so my quads, my knees, my ankles, my calves are a little stiff. 12 seconds, 10 seconds. Then we can rest, stretch. This is still a warm-up, so do what you need to do. Loosen up. You don't need to do anything crazy. We just want to get the heart rate up. You know what I'd really like to do in the summer? I'd really like to be able to live stream some workouts from outside, because I have this cool jump rope from Cross Rope. And back in 2020, I got into pretty good shape. Lost maybe 35 pounds. Went from 225 to 190. Pretty much just jumping rope and doing calisthenics. So, like, that's something I want to do, but I need 50 subs to do that. I have 15. Y'all think y'all can help me get to 50? All right, 2 seconds. Back to cardio. All right, come down. Legs extended. Back in. Stand up. You're gonna feel that in your quads if you do this right. I'm actually gonna do this for 2 minutes. You'll get 2 minutes of silence. If you want, you can rest. I'm gonna go for the next 40 seconds, then I'll take a breather. Wow, that actually burns a lot more than you think it does. Threshold 154. All right, just bring that heart rate down. I'm actually starting to sweat a little bit, so you know it's working. So that was 2 sets. We're gonna go into our first set of pull downs. Now, I use bands. If you have weights, you can do like a bent over row type movement. Right, we're not trying to nitpick. We're just trying to get some activity back there. So in 15 seconds, we're gonna start. I'm just gonna do regular pull downs. We're gonna go for the full minute, trying to keep the muscle engaged as long as possible throughout that movement. All right, let's go. All right, that was our first set. I keep saying we. I can't get out of the habit of instructing like I'm in a workout video. So obviously, this is my workout. You can follow along if you want to. But this is mostly for me, just to get active, get in shape. And what this really is an experiment. I designed a system, and I'm trying to see if this system works, right? The system really is the goal, to stick to that system, to see how long I can, faithfully, efficiently. The body really is the scoreboard. What happens to my body is just going to be a reflection of how well I stick to the system, whether that's activity, working out, diet, sleep, supplementation, which, I mean, that's not really huge for me right now, although I do take some. But really what this is just a test for me, really, to see, well, can I stick with this system for the desired length of time to really get enough data to iterate and see, well, okay, is it working? What's not? But in strict terms, what I'm doing right now for the next 3 weeks, which is till March 5th, 3 strength sessions a week, push-pull legs, or legs push-pull, as it were, and then 4 walking days. So no more pure cardio, as I call it, or conditioning. 4 walking days, trying to get me to a deficit of about 750 calories at the most, so that I can drop about a pound and a half to 2 pounds every week, which is safe enough to, oh, full time. All right, so if you saw, you noticed that I do a little hold right at the end, and that engages the traps, the back of the arm, and whatever that muscle is in the middle of the back. I don't know, but you can feel it. I could feel it all across the top. So as I was saying, the goal for me is 1.5 to 2 pounds every week, which is sort of like the maximum. It's kind of widely agreed that that's the most you can lose safely without compromising muscle retention. And since my goal is really aesthetics and strength, obviously, strength we're building in the second phase of this experiment. The next 20 weeks is just the first phase. That's to see if the system works. And then the next 20 weeks, 30 weeks, 20 years is just refining the system for more results. So that's what we're doing. I realized that I was working too hard, doing too much. Those huge deficits, 3,000 calories, 3,100 calories, too huge, because it'd be like a 1,500 calorie deficit between what I'm eating and what I'm burning. And that's great in the short term, right? Maybe the first couple of weeks, but this is why crash diets do not work. Those kinds of huge deficits, you do see results very quickly in the short term. But what ends up happening is that you start to get hungry, hunger spikes, you get irritable, and of course, your body just stops responding. So I'm not trying to do that. We have 15 seconds for the next pull set. I think I'm going to do isometrics for this one to just engage that muscle the entire minute. This should feel good. All right, let's set up. Ooh, really felt that one. All right, so I don't know if you saw this, but in the last maybe 20 seconds or so, when I was pulling it back, I maintained tension all the way at the end, and then I just eased it off a little bit and then brought it back. And I was doing these quick sort of little movements to engage the muscle and to keep it engaged for the whole minute. So yeah, but back to what I was saying about the system. The goal really is to see if the system works. Get me down to, I don't know, maybe about 180 pounds. That's the goal. Long term, the goal is about 180 pounds. But really what the goal is in phase 2, once I refine the system and make sure I got it working to a point where it's sustainable and I can do it for years to come, you want to get into calisthenics. Being 217, I know like big guys can do calisthenics, but right now I don't have the base for it. I'm not strong enough yet. And this is partially why I'm doing this. This is going to build that base for me while also making me more light, obviously, because my body is going to be the weight. You can obviously lift a lightweight easier than a heavyweight. So getting my body down 40 pounds is going to make it a hell of a lot easier to do things like push-ups and pull-ups and all that stuff. So we have 15 seconds coming up. I'm gonna switch over to the 20-pound resistance band. I'm actually just gonna do some bent over rows. And these aren't gonna be super hard, but I just kind of want to get the muscle engaged. So you know what these look like. You just follow along if you're watching. All right, so if I want more resistance, I can just go down the band like that. There we go. Pull it up to the top. Hold it for a couple seconds, let it go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm feeling that already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are just 20 pounds, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, feeling that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it for the last 10. Ooh, feeling that in the back. Oh, wow. That actually hurt. That hurt. Just gonna stretch out a little bit. And if there is anyone watching this, you happen to catch this randomly, let me know what you think of the workouts. Let me know how I can make this more exciting, more engaging. Obviously, I want more people to see these. I mean, if no one sees it, that's fine. I mean, it's good enough just for me. Since this is just meant to be an experiment to kind of log my process and log my progress. But if anyone sees this and you feel like you were inspired or encouraged or kind of set something off in you, then let me know. You know, this part of why I do this is because I also want to show people that it is possible to change, especially for people who don't tend to stick to things like myself, and just to be vulnerable and to be open. Like I've never really finished anything huge in my life. So this for me represents a chance to finish something important, finish something significant, and not even just to prove to other people that I can, but really just to prove it to myself. And I think at the end of the day, I know it sounds corny and it sounds cliched, but at the end of the day, the person you want to compete against and the person you want to beat is yourself. You want to be better than you were yesterday, right? You don't want to be better than the other person. You don't want to be better than this influencer or whatnot. And I'm not doing this to become an influencer. Like, would it be cool if some people knew who I was? Sure. But, you know, there's more to life than being famous, quote unquote famous. So we're going to try another set of these rows. Let me do with the next foot. Give my other quad some more. Move back a little bit. You know, hold it for 5 seconds again. Almost fell over there. We value symmetry. Hate when the screen does that. Like, how are you recording my screen How are you recording and then going black? Like, what the hell? So dumb. All right, I'm gonna hold it for the next 10 seconds. This is the last 10 seconds. Oh, I'm feeling that. I'm gonna hold it a little bit more. 2, 1. Oh. Oh, okay. So that timer says 3 sets left. I want to say that means 2, so we're almost done. Yeah, today's gonna be a short one. I'm not trying to burn people out, and I'm also just trying to get my own TDEE down so that my deficit's not huge. I already feel like I'm gonna have to maybe take off one walking day, because I tend to burn a lot. Even when, just existing, unless I'm just like really sedentary and I'm burning like 1,800 calories for the day. But even if I'm a little bit active, I'm looking at least 26, which means a good I have to eat a good 1,700 or 1,800, right? And the truth of the matter is, I don't really no, I'm lying. I shouldn't say that. I do like to eat, but eating calorie dense whole foods it can be exhausting. Like, anyone who's ever worked out seriously and paid attention to diet, like, that eating a lot of food can be tiring, right? Just a lot of chewing, you get full, sometimes you can't eat everything in a day. So which is why with my whole intermittent fasting thing, like, I'm not starting at 3 in the afternoon again. I'm actually starting earlier in the day, like maybe 11, because that's going to give me time to get everything in. Because the goal, 130 to 140 grams of protein every single day, or as close to every single day as possible. And that's not always easy. So you got 20 seconds left. I'm going to go back to the thing. And I'm gonna do isometric holds this time for the entire minute. All right, here we go. So I swear, I'm so scared this thing is gonna snap from the dual frame and just like beam me in the face. All right, I'm gonna raise my arms up so that I can get some rear delt engagement. At some point, I'm gonna need to do something a bit more challenging, which is why I really want to be able to live stream so I can get outside. There's this really cool park down the street from my house where I can do these Australian rows. There's this really nice chest level bar. There's parallel bars where I can do push-ups. There's even an ab bench. Once I get strong enough, I can do parallel bar dips for the triceps. Like, all that stuff, I want to be able to do that, but I can only do that if I have 50. Well, actually, I can live stream it if I have 50 subs. But if I just use a regular camera, I can't use my phone because I don't have enough space. Yeah, so this is going to be our last set after this break. Let me do some cardio. I'm just going to do some stand-ups. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go from one leg to the next. Back a little bit. You go from side to side like this. You're gonna work both legs, obviously. And this actually even improves your flexibility and mobility a little bit. So you gotta come down, stretch your leg out, bring it up. Get a nice little squat. Yo, my heart rate has not been this slow since I've been asleep. Pretty sure it's gonna go up in a little bit though. The good news is I've actually, even since yesterday, I've gone down about 1 pound and something. To be fair, that's probably just bodily functions, but it looks good on the scale, right? The actual real weigh-in is going to be next Friday. That's going to be my first official week. All right, we got 10 seconds left. You know what? We're gonna do one more set of these bent over rows. We'll do both feet. So let's move down the band a little bit. Nice. Feeling this in the mid back too. Wow, this actually hurts, which goes to show you can do real work with not a lot. I mean, this is two bands. My bedroom. All right, down to the last 15. I'm just gonna hold this. Don't want to hunch. 4, 3, 2. Woo! Oh my God. Okay. So 142. Okay, 208. But like I said in one of my first videos, it's not really about how much you burn while you're doing it. You activate those muscles, and I've seen this in my own personal experience. I always burn more when I do strength training. Those of you who know. For those of you who don't, muscle is what they call metabolically active. So you engage it, it's gonna start to burn calories. That's what happens. And you get this nice extended burn where for like 2-3 days after you do the exercise, your body still continuously burns calories, which is why strength training is so much better for you as far as dropping weight than cardio. Cardio has its place, obviously. Like I do cardio, it's good for your heart, it's good for your cardiovascular system, it's good for building stamina. But cardio gives you a boost while you're doing it. Once you're finished, that benefit kind of goes away. Strength training is where it's at. But we don't need to kill ourselves for it to be effective. So that's it for today. So I'm not doing anything Saturday or Sunday. I'm just going to do my walks. But I'll see you guys all back here on Monday. Have a nice weekend.